Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Journeyman Football Manager with Zebu Nation. We are in our second full season, our first season with Wolverhampton, but our second full season as a journeyman coach. And now let's just jump right into it. We are with the Wolves of Wolverhampton. We are in the Sky Bet Championship, just to catch anybody up who hasn't watched our previous videos. But here we are, it's 7 games into the season, and we're in 9th place. 4 wins, 1 draw, 2 losses, goal differential of +1. But something to take note of is that we do have 13 points, and that essentially ties us for 5th place with Aston Villa. So what's important about this is that it shows that we're in a promotion battle, or at least we're keeping pace with the top of the league, and we can qualify for the playoffs if we keep this pace. And so I'm happy about that. I'm encouraged by that, especially since this team is just not gelling the way I'd like it to. We're a little, I don't know, our form is a little bit off. Our team cohesion is a little bit off, and so I'm still struggling to find the right tactics, the right buttons to push with this group of young players that we've assembled. So I guess let's dive right into it. We'll go straight to the checklist. Every episode I like to do a little checklist, a little update of where the club is at. So we'll start with finances here. And as you can see, finances are booming. Our trend over here on the right is going up and up and up. That's what you want to see. Currently have 39 million in the bank, and that's very good. That's a far sight from where we came when I first took over this job. So the board is very happy with us. We're staying well within our budgets, and even sort of improving on their estimations and recommendations. So the club is on firm financial footing, and one of the reasons I like to do that is to just build board confidence. It's one of those things that no matter where you are in the world, whatever job you have, I guess maybe at the highest level they don't quite care as much, but anywhere in the middle, if you prove that you can be frugal, the board will be happier with you than if you weren't. Let's just put it that way. And one of the bonuses of that is, as you can see here, we have a $1.4 million transfer budget, which isn't huge, but we are now able to keep 100% of our transfer revenue. So that's going to help us making deals in the future. We can look at this and make deals a little more strategically rather than just reacting and saying, well, this player wants to leave, so let's sell him, or this player's getting paid too much, so let's get rid of him. Now I can look and say, well, if I can get X number of dollars for this player, then I can go out and spend Y number of dollars on another player. Now that I can keep 100% of the transfer budget for myself. And also payroll budget, we're doing very well. We're $4 million under our payroll budget, spending only $21 million of $25 million. So what this says to me is we have room in the budget for 1 or 2 more high-priced players. We can bring in one $4 million superstar or a couple of $2 million, star-type players. Depending on if we can get them for $1.4 million from the transfer budget, which probably not. We'd have to get older players, getting them in on a bargain. But, that possibility is still there, and that's why I like to keep the transfer budget and the payroll budget under control, just to kind of, deal with any contingencies that we might come up against. And that's really what I think I'm going to use this money for right now, is if there's any sort of problems, any sort of catastrophic injuries during the course of the season, we can use this as like a rainy day fund and try and go out and get some players. As right now I don't know what moves to make, so I'm not going to go out and just make any moves. I guess that's it for finance. Yeah, that's about it for finance. We're just doing well. So let's move on to the board. The board is happy. We are currently secure at 58%. So I've gone above that 50% mark that is sort of my minimum threshold, moving almost up to 60% secure. So that is very good. And let's see, what else is there to look at here? We've got no board requests currently. Yeah, I don't really want to make any board requests right now just because they're not necessary. I could make some just to get some minor improvements here and there, but I don't want to spend that goodwill just yet. I can look at club issues. Our club stature is still holding at 50%. We haven't improved our club stature any. Payroll budget, they are very, very happy with our payroll budget. As I mentioned, we're at 71%, the board has to say. Currently spending 4.5 under the budget. The board is very pleased with your control of the payroll. That's good. Job value, this is something I need to look at. We're at 2%. So I'm going to have to ask for a new contract here just to get some sort of stability where they can't just throw me out at any moment. So if a better job offer doesn't come along, I'm going to ask for a better contract at the end of this season, maybe even mid-season. We'll see. I do have 2 full years left on the contract, so it's not a huge priority, but just to get some job security, I think that would be good. And then finally, they are 100% confident in our first team signing of youngsters, which is what we promised them to do. They are delighted with the number of youngsters you've signed for the first team. So that's good. Again, I don't need to go out and make any more moves. I promised them I would sign some first team youngsters. I did that. I didn't sign like a whole team full of youngsters, but it was enough to satisfy them fully. So that's good. So we can look at the club. Now we're still 3-star. Our finances are now rich. So within the span of 1 year, we've gone from shaky finances all the way up to rich finances. So that's definitely an improvement. Facilities, this is one of the reasons I'm not asking them for any improvements right now. Because we have, our stadium is very good. It's 30,000 capacity stadium, which should be plenty for this level, I think. Our field is in perfect condition. We have good corporate facilities, excellent training facilities, great youth facilities. Our youth level is 2. I don't know that we can boost that up much higher than 2. Playing in the championship. Maybe if we get promoted to the Premier League or something, we can move our youth level up. Just got a text there. But other than that, we don't really have anything to spend a lot of our money on right now. So we'll just keep all that money and goodwill in the bank until later. Now we can look at transfers, and not a lot has happened. Now I've been dabbling, sort of going back and forth with the Rangers over this guy here, Barry McKay, a 22-year-old Scottish midfielder. He wants to leave the Rangers. He wants to go to a larger club, so I think that we could get him. But the Rangers are trying to squeeze every penny they can from this guy. They want around $4 million for this guy, and I don't really want to pay $4 million for him. He's very good. He's young. He's got good potential, good stats. I like where his stats are allocated here. Long shots, off the ball, flair, speed, acceleration, all that kind of stuff, crossing and dribbling. He's a very good offensive player, let's put it that way. But we don't necessarily need him. So do I want to spend my whole transfer budget on a guy we don't need? I don't think so. I think that we need to hold off, be a little frugal here, and just say, we don't need this guy, so let's not break the bank over him. Let's not fall in love with somebody and spend all of our money. So we can look at our transfer history, and not much has happened since the off season. The only important signing we've had is we signed Simone Gantz, a 23-year-old Italian from Juventus. We got him for $750,000, so I thought that was a pretty good deal at the time. He's valued at twice that, but really, he's the kind of striker I wanted to bring in, the kind of striker I needed to bring in, an advanced forward, a poacher. He's got 15 finishing, 14 pace, 15 acceleration, 18 determination, 16 off the ball. So this is just, he's a guy who gets forward and scores goals, and that's what I want from my strikers. I don't need my strikers to do a ton of other things. I mean, it's nice if they can, but I need at least one guy whose job it is to get forward and score goals, and that's what this guy can do. The other big news is on the outbound transfer list. Just before the regular season, just before I signed Simone Gantz, Ivan Cavallero just one of our star players, 23-year-old midfielder, attacking midfielder from Portugal, our best player, pretty much. He just got upset and said, I want to leave. I want to go to a bigger club. It's time for me to move on. I don't know where that came from. It kind of came out of the blue. So we had to get rid of this guy, and we sent him to Sassuolo of the Italian Premier League, Italian First League, Liga 1 over there for $10.5 million. Now, we only got to keep like 10% of that, or 20% of that, I guess, for our transfer budget. But that was enough to sign Gantz, so that was no problem. But yeah, so we've had one key addition and one key subtraction. So maybe that's led a little bit to some of our inconsistencies. But I don't know. We're still struggling on that point. So I guess the final thing to look at now is our schedule. See where we've come. We had that difficult preseason schedule I mentioned. Stoke, Tottenham, AS Monaco, Leverkusen. So we played a lot of tough games. We played a preseason cup tournament type thing. Lost both games in that. That was not good. Then we started out the season with a 1-1 draw to Brighton, and that was just... I'm not happy about that. I thought we should have won that game. We just didn't have enough firepower at the time, and that's one of the things that made me want to go out and get that striker and bring him in. And then in the first game that he played, our new striker, we had just the most insane game I've ever played. A 5-6 loss in the first round of the EFL Cup to Crawley. Crawley is a League 2 team, Sky Bet League 2 team. So we should have beaten them, but it was just such a wild game. I don't know. I don't know what went wrong with our team. It's just our defense failed, and everything went crazy. It was unbelievable. We did play some backup players in this game. Not everybody was a backup player, but a few backup players. And we had Matthew Willock, one of our reserve midfielders, scored a goal. We had Mikel Zero, one of our advanced forwards, or advanced wingers. He scored a goal. But the key was our brand new signee, Simone Gantz. His very first game had a hat trick. So that was just an outstanding performance from him. But defensively, we just fell apart. And the crusher was in the 114th minute. We let an own goal in. Carl Akem let an own goal in. That was basically the winning goal, the game sealing goal for Crawley. And that brings me to my final point, which is goalkeeping. I'm not happy with the goaltenders. We need to do something about them. I'm thinking of getting rid of Carl Akem. He's an international player, which is nice, but he's gone for too many stretches of the season. And he's not necessarily playing any better than Andy Lonergan. So I wouldn't mind getting rid of Carl Akem, and then the question comes from that, do we go out and get a high-priced goalkeeper, maybe a 30-something-year-old, even though Akem is pretty old as well, 31, and Lonergan, likewise, 33. So we need a change at goalkeeper sometime soon, but we have a young star player. I've already moved him up to the under 23s here. Where did my man head to? Mason Blake. He's already up to 2 stars. 4-star potential. 16 years old. I'm thinking when he turns 17, I'm going to give this guy a shot at the first team. So do I have patience and wait for this guy, or do I make a big move? That's what I'm struggling with right now. I think I'm gonna have patience, but it's difficult. It's difficult. So with all that said, let's get to our match preview. Look at the schedule here. We are playing Birmingham, one of our fierce rivals, and let's see where they are at in the competitions. They're not doing too good. They're 17th place, only 7 points on the season, 2 wins, 1 draw, 4 losses. So we should beat Birmingham as we did last year, but this is a, like I always say, in a rivalry game, anything can happen. So let's focus, let's be focused, and let's hit to the match preview here. Birmingham looks like they're running the same formation that we are. So let's. I know I have been playing the diamond formation on and off, and I think I'm going to use the diamond formation much more than I used it last season, because now we do have two strikers who are very capable, and so it's good we can use those two strikers in tandem and maybe score some more goals that way with the diamond formation. But in the meantime, for this game, we're going to play with the Burning Man formation here. And we're going to go to a possession style. Hopefully, control the ball. Be expressive and fluid, but we're also going to try to work the ball into the box. So this is the type of instructions that worked well for Worcester. See if it can work for the Wolves as well. Here's our starting lineup. We got Lonergan in goal. Nuri and Garbett, these guys have been struggling with injuries. Our two fullbacks, our two key players, have been struggling with injuries this season, so that could be why we're inconsistent. But our reserve players have to be able to play well, and when somebody goes out, they got to step up. Central defense, we're going with Courtney House, of course, one of our stalwarts at central defense. We're going Ethan Ebanks Landell. He's been wanting some more playing time. Gave him a new contract. He's supposed to be a rotational player, but our central defense is so solid, I haven't been wanting to break them up. And Ebanks Landell is kind of our fourth central defender. So it's hard to work a fourth central defender in there in a regular rotation. So I might have to bump him up to our third central defender. He can also play on the right wing, so he's been our sub at right wing as well. So it's a whole deal with this guy. But he wants more playing time. As you can see, his mood is poor, so maybe we can boost him up a little bit. Central midfield, we got Matsuchik at deep line playmaker right now. I don't think that's his position. He's supposed to be. Yeah, I guess it is. Deep line playmaker. He's coming in just to sub out our regular players. He's basically our 12th man off the bench, even though his stats are dropping like crazy. But he's definitely our 12th man off the bench just because he brings a lot of versatility there. Cody McGinn, our young central midfielder, is playing very well. Ben Marshall at the right wing has been playing well also. Jordan Graham, one of our star young players, 22 years old. He's the reason I don't need that other guy that I'm looking to transfer in, because Graham is pretty much the same dude. He's just Irish instead of Scottish. So we need to not fall in love with other players and just develop the players we have. He's our inside forward. And then we're going to go Deco back in the starting lineup for this game rather than Gantz, because Gantz just played. He's a little tired. And Deco is on a good run of form right now. So let's submit that team and go. It's a lot of build up to this match. I probably should have cut all of that short. But it's basically, season update. And probably won't get another season update until the mid-season, but I just wanted to play this rivalry game and give everybody a feel of what's going on at the beginning of this season. You've left Dominic Yorfa out. Is that due to his recent injury problems? Yes, it is. In other circumstances, we might have risked him, but didn't feel whatever. Can you tell us why Danny Bath isn't involved today? He's just being rested. He's our other stalwart central defender. So we're giving him a rest. It's Derby Day. How much do you look forward to taking on your local rivalry? I personally always look forward to this one. It's been a real buzz. Blah, blah, blah. Gordon Kennedy from BBC 5. BBC Radio 5. He's enthusiastic. Do you have any worries about the players being able to keep their heads in this heated atmosphere? Let's see. It's about striking a balance for me. We don't want to play passively and let them take the initiative, but we can't afford to go too far in the other direction. So here we go. We're both playing the same formation. 4-1-2-3, DM wide. Yeah. You know, I've also seen that formation called the 4-1-4-1, but I prefer to call it the Burning Man formation. Looks like don't necessarily. Well, I guess we do. Let's close down on the both midfielders, and then we have this guy here, Schotten. Looks like he's coming forward. So let's mark him individually. There's Schotten. Mark and close down on him just in case he gets forward and starts to be sneaky. So there we go. Let's get to our pep talk here. Today is all about the supporters, so I guess this is a home game. So let's be passionate. Let's give the fans something to cheer about. All right. Lonergan and Cody responded well to that. This is not a home game, is it? We don't have blue stands. Maybe we do. I thought this is Birmingham's Palace. Alright, so we are in the yellow and black, as we should be. Hopefully we can control this match. It looks like they're playing tight defense, though. And our players are just sort of shooting the ball downfield. I don't like that. Belmont, free kick, goal right off the start. They've got a full house roaring for that free kick goal from Belmont. It's like Lonergan and this is one of those things where it's like, better goalkeeper might have stopped that. So I don't know. Do we give the youngster a chance or not? Here's Marshall with a long throw into the box. House can't do anything with it, but Marshall recovers, centers it to McGinn as he resets the offense to Matuchik. Matuchik to Graham. Graham, nice pass across field to Marshall. Here's Marshall. Can he center it? He does, across to Graham for the equalizer. Crowd roars in disapproval, but you can hear the Wolves fans in the background. This was a very nice play between our two wingers. Graham gets it out to Marshall. Marshall back to Graham for the goal in the back of the net. All right, so I feel a little better about that. Belmont is pulling the strings. We'll close down on him. Here's McGann on the corner. Nobody gets it back. Centers it to Graham again. And again, this is why I didn't necessarily want to go out and get another advanced player, because we need to... we have 4 wingers that I've been rotating in. So to add a 5th winger to that would be ridiculous. I'd have to send somebody out. And I just don't want to break up the, what little team cohesion we have. Here's Cottrell down the sideline. Sends one in. Off the post, and an easy putback for Donaldson. Was he offsides? No, he was not. So this could be one of those games, just back and forth. Oof. And then nobody was marking on the back end there. I guess it's hard to be offsides if the ball is already bouncing off the post. Here's a free kick for us. McGinn sends one in. Belmont heads it out. Deco chases it down. Back to McGinn out wide. Sends it forward. Playing ping pong in and out. Graham with the header, just wide. That's something we had difficulty with in our first few games, is just taking advantage of our chances. All right, here's Birmingham again on the attack. Shot well wide. So there's a lot of stuff going on here. We're down 2-1, 35 minutes down. See if we can get the equalizer before half. Not sure if that's going to work. Yellow card for Gleason. All right, here we are on the attack. Let's build it up, boys. There's Deco. Can he make a move? He sends a shot to McGinn. Gets the deflection. Marshall tries to chase it down, but cannot. It's cleared out of touch by Birmingham. On the far side, do we get another highlight out of this? Nope. Here they get here's Belmont with another free kick. This time off the wall. That was a little scary. Cleared out of touch. Again, no highlight. 44 minutes down. Here's their goalkeeper. Sending one downfield. Free tracks it down for Birmingham to Tesh. Almost gets it stolen, but gets it back to Gleason. Our midfield is being very aggressive. There's Donaldson making a run on the back line. He's checked well there. Centers it to Kitterfield. Almost gets it stolen. Cottrell to Shutton. Oh, just wide. I think Lonergan got a finger on that. Yeah, he did. So they get a corner out of it. And another highlight. 1 minute of stoppage time. Let's not allow a second goal. Cody heads it to Graham. Graham gathers it in, and that's the end of half. All right, so we're down 2-1. Passionate. I expect to see much better in the second half. Only Deco. Everybody else played pretty well other than Deco, honestly. Who else? Garbutt didn't play too well. Garbutt's been injured. Ebanks Landell. 5.8. I cannot let that stand. Cannot let that stand. We got to bring Bath in for Landell. I mean, you're going to complain about playing time and then you're going to perform like that. Forget about it. Forget about it. All right. We're going to start the second half with Bath in there at central defense. Shore that up. We can't afford another goal. Let's put it that way. So at some point we're going to have to... they are going forward. I think we might be able to catch them on the counterattack. I think we could catch them on the counterattack. So let's send it forward. Let's go counterattack. Let's go high pressure counterattack. Why not, right? Maybe even get stuck in. Let's go crazy. We don't have any yellow cards, so let's go crazy. Put the pressure on them and try to get a quick goal. It's not looking too good here. All right, here's Graham. On the attack. Sends it forward to nobody in particular. But Cody tracks it down, back to Graham, forward to Deco. Can he get the goal off the post? Oh, our right winger did not go after the ball. It was like he wasn't even paying attention. All right, so now here they are on the counterattack. Gleason to Frey. Oh, he missed the tackle, and there's their third goal. This is what's happening to this team. I can't go aggressive with this team. They get beat. And the few games that I have gone aggressive, we've gotten torched. And I think it comes down to goalkeeping. We don't have the goalkeeper who can stop plays like that. I mean, not that any goalkeeper would have an easy time stopping a play like that. But you need a goalkeeper who can make those kind of moves and just, save games all by himself. All right, so we're going to bring Deco out, bring in Gantz, and make him advance forward. Then once this change is made, go to our instructions, we'll go on the attack. Ah, 3-1. I'm not happy about this at all. Cottrell with a free kick in. Looks like Free's going to gather it in for Birmingham. Can we get the steal out there? Almost. Kieftenbald gathers it into Morrison. Centers it to Sheary. Forward to Donaldson. Gets it stolen. Nuri can't track it down. What's Nuri doing out there? He is way out of position. He should be our right fullback. Oof. Defense and goalkeeping. This is ridiculous. So it's going to have to be a conservative year. I mean, look at that. He just Beats everybody. He was probably supposed to be getting marked by our right fullback, who was for some reason playing advanced midfielder. Here's another highlight for Birmingham. Chesh sends it forward. Nope, Nouri with the steal. Cody to Marshall. Can we get a second goal? Nope. Sending it forward. There's House cleaning up the trash. 71 minutes down. Down by 3 goals. This is just sort of brutal. Graham heads it forward. Can we get it to Gantz for another goal? There's McGinn looking for some support. Gantz is going to take the defense on by himself. Great save by the goalkeeper. See, our goalkeeper wouldn't have saved that. How are we looking? What are our fullbacks doing? We're going to send our fullbacks on the attack. I mean, at this point, what do we have to lose? Cottrell gets it stolen by McGinn at midfield, and we take over. Cody, can he get it forward? They're playing some pressure here. There's Gantz. He looked offsides, but he's got it. 2-on-1 out wide. Sends the ball wide. Alright, I might want to get Garbutt out of there just because he's had injury problems. He's got a yellow card. Move House over there. Bring in Yorfa, I suppose. Ooh, maybe we can't do that. Let's undo that. I think Nouri can play left fullback. And then Yorfa can play right. Right? Yeah, he can play wing back, so that's fine. He's fine. He's fine there. So Yorfa's had injury problems too, but he's come back. He's allowed, I think, up to 60 minutes a game now, so this should be plenty of time. Cody to Marshall. There's Yorfa. Still a little rusty coming back from injury. Now they're on the counterattack. Nice steal by Matuchik. 82 minutes down. At this point, we're just playing for pride, trying to get a second goal. Sends it forward to Gantz. Gantz has the shot, but there's their goalkeeper. I don't know, I just look at these other goalkeepers with envy now, making stops and saves like that. Because basically any ball that gets past our defense now is going in the net. Oh, look at that. Just no luck. I mean, we hit the post, we get the deflection, and their defender is there sitting on the post, ready to kick it free. It's a little frustrating. It's a little frustrating here and there. There's the free kick. Shinny into the box to Cottrell. Cottrell. Oh, there's a stop from Lonergan. Deflected off one of our defenders, though, out of touch for the corner. Supporters are not going to be happy with this one. I'm sure we're going to be getting questions from the media about it. Getting angry tweets from our supporters. Matuchik did not play too well. Only a 6.5 rating. Nouri a 6.0 rating. Look at our whole defense and goalkeeping. Awful. Anytime you see anything below a 6.5, I consider that terrible. Gantz now picked up a twisted ankle. It's just what we don't need. There we go. 4-1 humbling defeat. That was awful. Going to be assertive. Not happy with your performance out there. Devious indifference from the Mail online. Oh boy, I don't want to talk to these guys. Peter Thomas. That result was obviously a disappointment, but what did you make of your team's performance? We were really poor today and want to improve in the future. All right. Stats. Do we even need to look at these stats? 6.0 rating, 6.3, 6.4, 5.9 for Nouri. It's grotesque. Matuchik, 6.4. I mean, our best player was Graham at 7.3. He was just head and shoulders above everybody else. Landell with a 5.8. And so look at that. 2 of our defenders had sub-6 ratings. That's just atrocious. Let's look at our analysis, I guess. Tackles, look at that. Nuri, 17% tackles won. Garbutt, 0% of his crosses. House had 18 interceptions, so that's good. But only 5 for Landell. McGinn completed 91% of his passes. That's good. But other than that, it was just poor all around. All right, so unfortunately, that was our beginning of the season update. Just not very good. So as you can see, we've got a lot of things to iron out with this team. Possession style is not going to work for us. So I got to figure it out. Probably going to go counterattack and see what we can do from there just to keep our defense steady. But I guess that's going to do it for now. We'll check back at mid-season, wherever that might be. Possibly this game versus Leeds. It's a television game. Possibly the FA Cup 3rd round. That's another good natural breaking point. So one of those 2 games we'll show you next time around. So until then, we'll see you later. Bye-bye.